Welcome to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's Leonard. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and an occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show!
Hello, this is a special episode. Are you ready? I bet you know I'm going to say it. This is going to be an odd show, right? My new normal, abnormal. But this one really is going to be odd, weird, because I want to talk about Weezer, the band, but more specifically, the bassist's wife in the news. This will make sense as we go along. I had reached out to Adam Blaylock, hasn't gotten back to me. Adam Blaylock with Heart Songs podcast, which I was on, and he was also on this show earlier during Music Weeks. So this is kind of a weird follow-up to Music Weeks. He hadn't gotten back to me, wasn't available yet, since Heart Songs podcast that he created is based off of the Weezer song about heart songs. So I tried reaching out to him, but briefly, the Weezer band's bassist wife was in the news. We don't have all the details yet, so I will be engaging in some speculation as we go here. But it is reported the wife of the bassist of the band Weezer was injured in an incident where she had a weapon, a gun. Now, what I do know of the story is that it's reported she is saying that she grabbed a gun and had the gun because she thought she was in a situation that she would have to defend herself, that there might be a criminal action happening and she might be in danger. So she grabbed the gun as a self-defense thing. Okay, plausible story. Let me back up just a sec. Right? I don't know to what extent she is injured, her condition. I would imagine, however, if she was shot by police, that would have been the "if it bleeds, it leads" headline. So, don't know the extent of her injury, don't know all the details, but the sketchy initial details, which may be proved to be incorrect as we go. Again, this is all happening fresh news reporting. Sometimes the first reportings aren't always 100% accurate, but there is a police or was a police situation in some shape or form in and around that property. And the issue of her having a gun and becoming injured in this incident, if police were involved in something else outside, starts to have a little problem with, I am against, definitely opposed. Most states don't have laws, some do, or municipalities may have duty to retreat laws. So a stand your ground castle doctrine defense tends to lose a little weight. It's not completely then non-defensible or usable as a defense that you were defending yourself, but it appears she exited the supposed safety of a property to come outside with the gun. And indeed, if these are indeed the facts, then it could be argued she then crossed over to an offensive nature where she was not either in retreat or standing her ground defensively, but took an offensive action. Well, why am I bringing this up, even though indeed we don't have the facts yet, all the facts, all the information, the full story? Because this is less about Weezer, the band, the bassist, or even his wife. If it wasn't the Weezer band's bassist's wife, this wouldn't be in the news at all. But I am bringing it up because these things happen across the United States all the time, and we don't hear about them because they don't make the news. And good citizens, law-abiding citizens, indeed, maybe necessarily engaging in self-defense, are being charged with weapons charges and other things, in my opinion, improperly, an overreach, a usurpation, if you want to go there, of the Second Amendment and our rights. And Exodus 22:2, though, right, if a thief in the night dealt a fatal blow, you are not guilty of murder. Well, that's where our castle doctrine law and our Second Amendment self-defense rights comes from. But again, if you've now stepped over the threshold of the property out into public areas, that can then be deemed an offensive move and muddies the water. So I just wanted a brief show to say, hey, this is going on, but a lot of times these things happen and we don't know about it. We don't hear about it. What are our rights and how far are we going to continue to allow them to be eroded insofar as the Second Amendment goes? So please definitely go back into the archives and listen to God and Guns, as well as God and Guns Redo Part 2 episode. There are 2 God and Guns Constitutionalist Politics podcast episodes that relate here, that this was important to talk about to provide callback to those episodes. So indeed, this special broadcast, if you will, this last minute or on the cutting edge of breaking news special without all the facts is coming to a conclusion. We will have to wait and see as more facts come out. But regardless of Weezer band bassist's wife, these are things we all have to be aware of going on and paying attention to regarding further erosion of our rights. Okay, thank you all. I told you this was going to be a weird episode. This was really weird and odd, even for my weird and odd standards at times, right? Thank you all. Take care. God bless.
Thank you for having tuned in for Constitutionalist Politics Show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.